welcome back to Friday Night Football with me, Rams of the South Stand. Let's get the big elephant out of the room straight away. Yes, I have had a shave. Yes, I look like a 15-year-old prepubescent boy. But let's get on with the content and let's not focus on that. Anyway guys, what we're doing now is we're going to review your comments on Joe's video on Monday Night Football, because we've not had any content this week with the shitty international break, yada yada yada. So what we're going to do is we'll try to bring some content to you throughout this break. It's a little bit difficult because we've got no football to feed off really, but we've done all Leeds TV investigates with Oscar so far. We're looking to do a Skype call on Sunday, so keep tuned for that. And tonight I'm going to be doing your Friday Night Football, so keep watching. So the first comment from Tommy Firth is a good one actually. Joe, do you think Baker should get a chance, mate? So I'm going to act as your Joe, Tommy. I hope you're alright with that. But yeah, Baker get a chance. Should he get a chance? It's a good question, mate. I've got a really good mate at work actually, Alex, who's a big Borough fan, and he works in the Borough media department actually, and he doesn't understand why Baker wasn't given a chance. He completely gets it with Harrison. He doesn't rate him as a player, but he saw every home and away game that season, and he reckoned Baker should have got a chance just based on what he was like, based on his ability, etc, etc. So definitely it's something to take into account. I mean, he's highly rated by Chelsea, he's still on Chelsea's books, so there's definitely a player there. Very similarly to Blackman in my opinion, there's definitely a player there, definitely a player to look at. So yeah, I think Baker's definitely one to look at. The next comment is Andrew O'Connor. Good show, good to see the input from the Baggies fan too, cheers Andrew. Nathan Ransom, I swear I'm doing this just to massage Joe's ego, I swear to God, he suggested me doing this video. You speak a lot of sense, mate. Sick of the negativity. Lost the second amount of games in the league, conceded the fourth least amount of goals, scored the second most goal in the league, 3 points off Bristol City and Reading at home coming up. I can understand that, and I don't think there's much negativity, to be honest, mate. I don't really understand that comment. This negativity thing, it's not negativity, it's just people are allowed to express their view, and I think at the minute, especially after hiding we got from West Brom the last 6 or 7 games, I think there is definitely a little bit of cause for concern. I think, you know, 6 or 7 games ago we were talking about Leeds being promoted as league champions, and I think there's a little bit of a different vibe at the minute, and I think that being explored and that being talked about and that being assessed, that's not being negative. That's fans coming together, and that's what we do on the fan channel. We want to give you different points of view. As Joe said in previous videos, he's very optimistic. I think me and Oscar are a little bit probably more, not negative, but we sort of, it's difficult because I think we're all realistic, but I think we all sort of look at it in different ways, and as fans you will do that. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's negative. I hate that word. I think negativity, I don't think there's many Leeds fans who are negative. I think a lot of them can be realistic in a sense. And I think the reason is, it's because, you know, we've had 15 years of shit, haven't we, and 20 years of shit, and I've been in the boat of a lot of Leeds fans who are negative, who, you know, you get your hopes up so high. And I think just to compare really, I mean, in the Monk era, I was so on it, and I was, you know, Leeds are going to do this, we're going to do that, and no one can beat us, and you know, just to be let down like that, I think you've got to take a step back as a fan. You've got to be realistic. I think you've always got to be realistic, because then at the end you can sort of step back and sort of look at it from a holistic point of view and think to yourself, okay, I sort of expected that. I didn't expect that, and I was pleasantly surprised by that. And I think it makes you appreciate things a lot more. So yeah, sorry, I just wanted to get into that a little bit. But yeah, good comment anyway, mate. Next one, Shark Ram. If we get 7 points for the next 3 games, it will be a brilliant run of games. What is beginning to concern me is now the lack of depth in the squad, like others have mentioned. Hope PJ makes a full recovery, Pontus Jansson, from his injury. I agree with you in reference to January transfers. Cannot see us getting too many players, as we have a few coming back from injuries. Yeah, completely agree, mate. That's a really good comment, actually. I'd like to get into that. Sharkram27, that was. For me, we need to be picking up 7 points minimum, really, in the next 3 games. And the reason behind that is because if you're looking at promotion credentials, Leeds have 2 more favourable games in the next 2 weeks, with Bristol City at home and Reading at home. That's got to be 6 points for me. If we're looking realistically at this division and we're looking to go up from this division, I think any team in that top 6 would be looking at 6 points from Bristol City and Reading. And I'd also like us to go to Sheffield United and really give a performance in. I think Sheffield United last season sort of bullied us, and they were a better team, and I think they're an even better team this season with the likes of McGoldrick coming in. I think they've got that cutting edge a little bit more, and they're sort of in and out Sheffield United, but no way they're going to be a worse team than last season. Duffy's a real player, I really like him. Sharp's on it once again. So, and you look at Coots is back, isn't he? And he was sort of, Sheffield United sort of tailed off really when he was injured last season. It was after our game actually we played them. I think Coots got injured in the next, I think it was 1 or 2 games just down the line, Paul Coots, and he's a real player. He's sort of the engine for United, so he's back in there with John Fleck. So that's going to be a real tough game. If we manage to get a point there, I'll be happy. But you know, if we're looking to go up, if we're looking to challenge, we can't come away with nothing from that. We've got to get something Sheffield United away. I think that's the minimum. Yeah, and you've also mentioned hope PJ makes a full recovery, and you've touched on the depth of the squad. Once again, sort of a bit of a realism chat here regarding the depth of the squad. I mean, looking at it now, I mean, once again, I was talking to my mate Alex, who's a Borough fan today. He's very, very neutral as well. He reckons their squad's too meek and mild at the minute. He said they've not got enough depth in certain areas, and I actually said to him, what do you think about Leeds? And he went, well, mate, you're wafer thin, and that's why you won't go up. It wasn't coming from a malicious standpoint, but it's interesting to hear his standpoint. I don't agree with him on the not going up thing. I do actually think we will go up, but I do think there needs to be something in January. I think you will get a Fulham sort of team. I think you will get someone coming and really going for it. Possibly Villa. I'm not 100% sure. They look like they're clicking into gear a little bit, and they've got some cracking players. You know, some really quality players at Villa. So, you know, when they click into gear, it's going to be dangerous. I think they're on the verge of that, to be honest. But there's going to be one team who's going to have a strong January transfer window. And it only takes 3 or 4 wins in the Championship to get amongst that top 6. And I think there's going to be another contender. And that sort of could be Leeds in a sense, because we could set ourselves at a level above. I'm just not 100% sure he'll do it. And you know, we've set up, this is recorded pre the Jansson scans, but you know, if Jansson comes back and he's out for a sustained period, what can you say? I mean, in Bielsa we trust, okay, but I mean, who are we putting centre backs then? I mean, what, we're going to put Calvin Phillips there? We're going to put Phillips alongside Cooper, and it's being realistic. There's 22 men in that squad, and comprising of that 22 is a few youngsters as well. You know, we're blooding the likes of Shackleton and Clarkin, Edmondson. Is that enough to get up? Is it enough to get up? I think we really need a strong... I also don't think Izzy Brown and Bamford are going to be featuring for a while into January as well, maybe touching on February, because they're not going to be in the body fat levels and the stamina levels and the finesse levels that is wanted by Marcelo. So that's how you see it, really. If we have a strong January, in my opinion, we'll go up, because we've got the Bielsa ball, we've got the system, we've got the style of play. The players are all indoctrinated into that thinking. They've got to be the right players. But if we get 2 to 3 players, maybe even 4, it's not going to happen, in my opinion, the 4. But we need, for me, a centre-half, a winger, and you know what, I'd go for cover on a keeper. But I don't think we're going to do that. If we get those 3, I think we're hands down going to go up. I think if we go into this January transfer window and we don't do anything, I think that's going to be, in my personal opinion, that's going to be a big fall-off point, because I think other teams will strengthen, and if we don't strengthen in key areas and go for depth, I do think we'll suffer from burnout, because you've seen it so far. We've gone through barren periods due to injuries, because the system is fluid on the key players been in the squad. That starting 11 been in the squad, and the ones to come in, aside from Izzy Brown and Bamford, who might not even be fully fit, are not seemingly cutting the mustard at the minute. So it's an interesting comment there, Sharkram. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comments sort of asking that sort of question to Joe. But yeah, I completely agree, mate. I think January's massive. January is huge, and if we don't do anything in January, I do think it will be a mistake. Gondwana. I watched the post-match interview from Bielsa, and he said it's his fault because his strategy gave the spaces the opponent needed. I really hope he's learning from all this. I bet he is. Yeah, you'd hope so, mate. You'd hope so, wouldn't you? Fuck yes, Hernandez. I think you're being naive to think we aren't bargain hunting. Yes, we spent 7 million on Bamford, but only after selling Vieira for the same price. Under Radrizzani, we have not spent anything that we haven't brought in through sales. And though I thank him for making us look like a club again, I do feel we're going to fall back unless we get someone to invest properly in the club. I mean, I guess it's not relevant to us at the minute, but, you know, we want an owner who ploughs money into the club. Of course we do, but would you rather that, or would you rather us get up the football way and do it Bielsa way? I think I'd prefer that, to be honest. If we can do that on nice budget and play some cracking football, I would prefer that instead of just getting maybe an Arab in who's just going to plough billions into the club. I think it's pretty unrealistic as well. Thanks for the mention, Joe. The work you, Oscar and Conor are doing gives a great platform for discussion this season. Bad news about Pontus, hope it's not bad. Yeah, cheers GZH, mate. You're always getting involved. Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate that. Harry Burns. We have Reading, mate. Not Ipswich, but still a big game. Yeah, I think Joe might have got that one wrong. This West Brom team are a strong team. I don't care what anyone says. This team, 100 million parachute payments. Yeah, I think he's just talking about the game there. Yeah, I mean, West Brom, seriously strong squad. I think anyone who finishes above them will win the league, to be honest, in my personal opinion. Yeah, I think they're that good. And when they click into gear and get the right system, that 4-2-3-1 system could be perfect for them. They look strong under it, solid at the back. I think they could be a real force once again this season. James Cole, yet again, Joe, quality video, but what makes this channel so good is all of you do something a little bit different. What keeps it so interesting and fun watching James match on together. Thank you, James. That means a lot. Yeah, we're all a bit different, aren't we? Me, Joe, and Oscar. Oscar, I think, keeps a little bit more of a level head than me and Joe. Me and Joe sort of work on passion, don't we? Yeah, I hope that doesn't come over as idiotic every now and again, but it might do, but that's just the characters we are. Oscar's very shrewd, intelligent lad, analytically fantastic, and I think me and Joe are just the village idiots of the channel, aren't we? Defcon, hello mate, you're a regular watcher, aren't you? Defcon 22. After the Wigan match, where we could have scored more, it looked like our form was back. Hold on lads, I'm just going to... Don't judge me on this as well. It's cheap stuff. This over here in Australia, and we've only got a champagne glass to put it in because there's nothing here. So, cheers. After the Wigan game, it looked like our form was back like it was at the start of the season. With so much possession against Albion without scoring, the sucker punch looked a bit inevitable. Then we went to pot. We'd love to see a fit Bamford playing alongside Roof up front. The old smash and grab job, except losing the ball and conceding. Come on, lad, get yourself fit. We need goals, lots of them. Yeah. And just to add to what I'd said earlier as well about Bamford and Izzy Brown, when they come in, they will be colossal players. Patrick Bamford is a quality player. He really is. In this division, he is a class player. In this division, at this level, he's a class player. Look at what anybody says. Derby, Norwich, Borough, he's done the business wherever he's been. He's a good player. Links up play as well. I mean, you saw the goal against Bolton. It was pure class. Nutmeg. Sweeping finish. Patrick Bamford will be a real asset to this Leeds side for many years to come as well. It's not just going to be this season, so don't just think it's a season thing. We're still a team in progress, and Patrick Bamford will be a great addition. Izzy Brown's one who I'm a little bit more cautious of, really, because it's a horrendous injury he's had, and is he going to come back with the same form that he showed at Huddersfield? I mean, that's the only thing we're sort of basing it on, really, isn't it? He didn't really get a shot really at Brighton. But you know, Brighton went in for him, so you know, for their Premier League starting 11, so he evidently is a player that a lot of people are heavily interested in and rate highly. And he was just brilliant against Leeds in those Huddersfield games. I thought he was a standout, him and Aaron Moy. So if he's back in that form, we've got two real players there. Maybe that's why Bielsa doesn't want to add, because he knows they're coming back. I just worry that in other positions we are so light. I think the centre-back department could be a big problem for us. If just in general, I mean, Berardi's out for 4 months. I think you've got to replace that. You have to replace that. You've got one of your main starting centre-backs out for 4 months. I think you have to replace that. Ailing out for 2. Are we going to bring Coyle back? Is Coyle going to be in the BL system? Is he going to be fit enough? I don't think so, so it's not realistic. So we're just way for thin at the back. Sorry, I'm going on about the back line again. But you know, you were talking about Bamford coming back in and Izzy Brown coming back in, but him playing alongside Roof, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? If Leeds need to go more offensively. I mean, I know we talked about in the West Brom game when we had Tyler Roberts coming on for Roof, like for like, made no sense. But actually, if you're trying to chase after a game, you could stick Paddy Bamford, Roof on. You could even stick Tyler Roberts on, maybe as a front three, and then you've got something quite tasty there, haven't you? Darren Walker have been commenting a lot on the recent videos, mate. I don't know if you're a new subscriber, but thank you so much. There's a lot of quality in your comments as well. I'm proud of this team. The reason fans were so positive 4-1 down, because overall they've been fantastic and we can get better and improve. We've been a joy to watch, and the desire, commitment, passing quality, great goals, exciting. 100%, mate. I mean, the beautiful thing about this is, you know, even if we don't get promoted, which we know is a massive possibility, you know, we don't have the financial clout of, well, half the teams in this division. It's been fantastic, hasn't it, so far? The football we're seeing, we've only been dominated in one game, in my opinion, throughout this 17, which is a real testament to the team. When you look at every other season, I tell you guys, the past 5 or 6 seasons, I think 60-70% of the games we just dominated. Even in the Monk season, we weren't always dominant a team. We grinded it out, but we weren't. I mean, maybe I'm not giving enough credit to them, but we weren't as dominant as we have been this season. No way in games. No way. So yeah, it's a fantastic thing. We've got to embrace it. Take it in. It's fantastic at the minute. Tiger Steel, yet another great vid. Please talk about a replacement for Alioski on the Skype call. Yeah, guys, in the comment section below, put what you want to talk about on the Skype call. Thank you, Tiger Steel, for prompting me to say that. On the Skype call, because me, Oscar and Joe are going to be chatting on Sunday, and we'll be chatting like we randomly do about nothing. Please go check it out if you haven't before. We've done a video on it before, and it's quite a nice thing. Me, Joe and Oscar interacting. It's always quite a nice, we've got a nice three-way dynamic going on. So please talk about a replacement for Alioski on the Skype call. MOT, thank you, Tiger Steel, and we will do, mate. Don't worry, that'll be one of the topics. Philip Millen, when we have set such a high standard this season that every time we play below par, a lot of us get too carried away. Worrying about the rest of the season. This is the Championship, the most insane league in the world. Every team will have bad days where they don't turn up, which was I thought would happen before the start of the season, given Bielsa demands. But we are and always will be Leeds fans, MOT. Yeah, great comment, mate. Leeds, as Joe says, marching on together. We are Leeds fans, we love it, that's why we're on the channel, that's what we're talking about every day. Every single match out here I have watched, right? I've had my missus up at 3-4 in the morning to watch Leeds. I've had it on my shitty phone, the Leeds game, yeah. I've had the streams cutting in and out because I can't find any decent ones. I've been doing that every single day every single game this season, every single game since I've been in Australia. And what I'm saying is we are a different breed. There is no other fan who would do this sort of stuff, in my opinion. I've met a couple of Leeds fans who do the exact same thing, but no other fan does this. It's because we're obsessed, we're fanatics, and that's why we do it. We do it for you guys, we do it for us, and we do it for Leeds because we love talking about it and interacting. You know, that's all you want to do out here. My missus is bored. She's bored out of her tits about me talking about Leeds. But you know, it's great interacting with you guys about it. It's fantastic. So yes, thank you for that. Alexander Keats, Joe, love your Geordie accent as my grandparents are from Newcastle. I don't want to upset you, Alexander, but Joe's actually he's a bit of a B-Tech Geordie actually. He's a smoggy. So yeah, sorry about that one, mate. Gary Keith. Could we maybe talk about the formations in the Skype call? Yes, we will, Gary. Formations. Can we change it about at all? What actually happened to 4-4-2, 4-3-3, or even 3-4-3? Watch Man City crush the scum at the weekend 3-1. Maybe Pep and El Loco should have a chat. Not sure if LUFC can do any of this due to our setup or players. Maybe you could chat about this if you think it's a viable topic. March on together, Leeds United forever. Thank you, Gary. That's a great comment, that is. Yeah, the changing formations, I think Oscar alluded to it as well. And I did in my pre-match West Brom. You can always switch up a side's fortunes by changing the dynamic and systems of a squad. You can always do that. It's been proven in seasons on end. City started out 4-4-2, they then went 4-3-3, then went 3-4-3, and it's worked. Could Leeds do something similar, a sort of a 3-4-3? Maybe deploy a false 9 as well. I'm not sure when Roof's getting tired. It's a really interesting comment. Let me know what you guys think about the formations in the comment section below. I would love Leeds to try sort of a 3-4-3. I think in that Pep City system we have that in abundance going forward. We have the quality to be able to do that, but it's the squad depth once again, and I don't think we have the players available at the minute to be able to do that. So the formations depend thoroughly on the quality of players you've got in that position, and we've seen that being a letdown in the last couple of weeks, haven't we? So it's an interesting topic, mate, and yeah, we'll definitely bring it up. Ben Scott, Harrison plays well on the right. Replace Alioski with Pablo on the left. I'd have to disagree with that, Ben. I don't think he does play well on the right, and I can't understand why the guy. I think Jack Clark might have had a little bit of an injury at the weekend, but Jack Clark every day starts for me. I think he's years above Harrison, years, I think, and I can't believe it. In football maturity levels, he's years above him. Confident, he'll have a shot whenever he wants, gets involved in the game. Don't know what it is with Jack Clark. He's been given a fair few games as well to have a go at it, but he's really not sort of getting the bull by the horns at the minute, and I don't know why. He's impressed me in one game, and for me that's not good enough. Borough Fan TV. I hate reading out these. Are you growing that beard to look like your idol, AJT? does this guy get a mention all the time? Not going to respond to that. Cringy as. Darren Walker. Hi again, mate. West Brom are nothing special. They're contenders, but they're nothing to get frightened about. Just ask Derby, demolish them. We demolished Derby. Yeah, I think we've seen the little triangle, haven't we, where West Brom beaten us, Derby had beaten West Brom, and we'd beaten Derby. Yeah, the whole triangle. It's a mad league. Look at Norwich now. Norwich are on fire. They turned it around after us. They're on fire. And we're now 3 points behind them. Can you believe that? Totally agree. My Edmondson comment was shit. Haha, heat of the moment, losing to West Brom. Cannot wait for the Bristol game. No better place than a bouncing on the road. Keep up the great work, guys. Love the videos. Stuart Cundle. I don't know if that's Stuart, mate. Misspelled. Thank you, Stuart. Or Stuart. But yeah, Edmondson comment was a bit wild, mate. I agree with Joe on that one. But yeah, Anyway, let's move on. Spen. Think Shackleton needs a go instead of Dallas next game. Overall, Dallas looks well out of place on that right side. Not sure if Bielsa would make that change though. I don't think he will make that change, mate, because I think Bielsa knows deep down that we are light. But he also wants players sort of reliable and that will do a job offensively and defensively. And I don't think Shackleton will do that, because I think he's a lot better. I think he's a lot better going forward than Dallas. But I think Dallas maybe could give a little bit more defensively. But judging on the West Brom game, I mean, do you know what I think it was with the West Brom game? They had a go at him, and I think they targeted him. And I think that was paramount, because you had likes of Harvey Barnes, Matt Phillips switching sides and both going at Dallas. And Hal Robson-Kanu was sort of veering off to the left towards Dallas's side, and you could see that it was paramount. He was doing it all the time, and he was splitting Jansson and Dallas, and he was always getting in between them, and it was causing them all ends of problem. Jansson, in my opinion, isn't confident with Dallas next to him as well. I don't think he's confident with Bailey Peacock-Farrell behind him either, which is where, in my opinion, the problem is at the minute. You've seen a lot of them turning around, sort of having a go a little bit at Bailey Peacock-Farrell as well. I saw that a little bit at West Brom. So, yeah, we've got some real decisions to make at the back there. But, yeah, I mean, ideally, you want it a little bit better at the back for Leeds, the systems to be a little bit more fluid, and you'd rather the players be completely on board with each other. I think we've got a cracking thing going at the minute, but we just alter a few things, and we will be superb. But yeah, those things need to be altered. January needs to be altered. The depth of the squad has to be altered, and blooding the right players in the squad, in my opinion, Robbie Gotts and Jack Clark. I'm banging on the Robbie Gotts drum, but they would fit into this squad perfectly as starters as well. But we'll have to see, won't we? Hope you've enjoyed it, guys. Please keep tuned for the Skype call on Sunday. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like it and comment. Let me know in the comment section below what you want us to talk about on the Skype call. We've already had 2 suggestions there. There will be 2 mentioned in the video. If you want to get mentioned, your name wants to get mentioned in the video, please leave it in the comment section below. And I'll catch you later.